flying the flag high internationally. South African animator Lesego Vorster won a Children's and Family Emmy for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation for his character design work on Kizazi Moto, Generation Fire. Now, Kizazi Moto, Generation Fire is a 10-part collection of original animated short films by Disney+. He directed the 9th episode of the 10-part series. The Emmy Award winner joins us now in studio this morning to share more on his work. Lesego, very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First of all, congratulations, man. I mean, this is absolutely massive, not just for you, but for the country as a whole. Because, you know, we've come a long way, you know, in terms of telling our stories through animation and exporting our craft to international audiences. How does that make you feel?
The Emmy itself? No, just being recognized for it. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. When they announced my name, well, you know, the best that they could say, Lesego, on the stage. I blacked out. I didn't remember what I said, but afterwards I had to watch my speech to see that I made sense, you know. But it is an honor for all of us. It's not just my Emmy. It's for all of us. Yeah.
What was going through your mind? Was it validation of your work, or was it simply a sense of pride you felt?
Not specifically of my work, but of the African aesthetic, that it can compete on a world stage and win. So, you know, understand that right now, people are now taking it seriously. Even though it's brand new to the world, African animation is relatively new. I mean, my heroes, the veterans, are still alive. That's how young it is with us.
Right. You know, Lesego, when you got the brief to work on Kizazi Moto, what went through your mind? I mean, when you got that brief, did you pour yourself and your experience, you know, expertise into it, or you simply stuck to the brief?
No, definitely. So the way it worked is we were allowed to pitch up to 3 stories. I had 2 stories which were really refined, and 1 which wasn't. And I knew that they'd gravitate to the one that wasn't, which is You Give Me Heart. Because I was having my own struggles with social media. You know, got to a point where I was drawing to post, and that's not me. Especially like I'm really busy, I've got a studio, I'm a teacher as well. So You Give Me Heart is about my struggles with social media, and then I just partnered with other writers who understood my plight. You know, I was adamant that I want like black female writers, because I like if you work with guys most of the time in animation, there's going to be fight scenes. For some reason, there will be action. I don't want action. It's not an action film. It was always a romance. And I got partnered with Nonzibo, who's from Orlando. I'm from Diepkloof. It was a match made in heaven, writing-wise.
Was You Give Me Heart personalized? I mean, were you telling your own personal stories and struggles of social media? And how did the influence of your other collaborators have in terms of telling your particular story with much authenticity?
We actually, because we started in the midst of lockdown, we were all in our own little pods. We only started working together as like 10 films and seeing each other's films maybe 8 months in. And we were all like, whoa. But of course, as directors and artists, we are never happy with what we're doing. Everyone was like, I want to compete with that. It actually raised the bar, you know what I mean?
And then, you know, we've come a long way in terms of, you know, at some point, animation was the exclusive preserve of children's documentaries and children's productions. But now it is evolved into telling stories, authentic stories, and, you know, adult stories and everyday stories. So why is animation the best medium to tell such stories?
Well, it's not the best medium. If you can, the way we put it is, if you write a story and it can be shot in live action, why are you animating it? So where's the magic? So it's that magic that we're trying to tell. And also, it's a medium that's been used for over 100 years in the world, by the rest of the world. It's still just, it's young to us. And we need to, and we deserve to explore it fully. And this is but one of the aesthetics that you're seeing. Because I remember when I was a lecturer, a full-time lecturer, would say to the students then, reference African aesthetics, but they had nothing to look to. Now they have 10-somethings, like just go watch Kizazi Moto. Because we had a big problem of, when you say make it African, they just put face paint and loincloths. Like, are you wearing a loincloth right now? You know what I mean? And
then when you say that we are still new to it, and in as much as animation, the industry is growing in South Africa, but we're not yet at the standard of, you know, the other international creators, like the Japanese, for instance. Why do you think that's the case? Is it because animation is a very expensive medium?
It is, but they just have, well, they have unity. Because let's specifically Japan, they have unity around it. And the government started seeing that a lot of tourism, a lot of money is coming in because of this obscure thing. It was obscure once upon a time in Japan as well, you know. Right now there's cities.
So? How obscure?
One of the first animated projects from Japan, I think it was by Osamu Tezuka. It's Astro Boy. And even with that, you know, like it wasn't for adults, but it's this duality of why are adults focusing on something that's for kids? Because it was always seen for kids. Drawing, illustration, you know, was meant for kids. But it's gotten to a point now where Japan has, even America, as I was saying, there's Adult Swim.
Yeah.
There's a whole channel dedicated to just adult animated content.
Okay, and I've read on how it is quite an expensive medium to use storytelling, one on the upside, it makes you creative.
Yeah.
Like that's when you explore your creativity, isn't it?
No, it is expensive. We just have to, the more young people come into the industry, the less expensive it would be, you know what I mean? Because there'd be more hands to do it. Right now, if you want to hire me, I'm expensive now, and also just won an Emmy. So, you know, the disparity is too big right now. It's this middle gap that we need to fill. And that's what countries like Japan, France, and America, the top 3 superpowers have. And Korea is right up there. They've got juniors, a lot of intermediates, and then seniors.
So where's the key in creating a magical animation? Is it in the script or is it in the software?
No, it's in the story. Everything in the story. Software is software. The old stuff, like your Tarzans, they were made on paper, so it's not software. It's not software.
Oh, right. And then there are other countries like Japan, for instance, who manage to keep the cost low in terms of production, but still maintain a high quality. Doesn't it compromise the quality of the film if you keep the cost low? No,
not at all, not at all. Their costs are not cheap, yeah? They're just lower than the rest of the world. But because they've got so much to throw at the production, there's a lot more seniors in terms of animation. Let's speak specifically 2D. There's a lot of seniors in Japan, which means less retakes. That's where money goes when there's a lot of retakes. You know, you have to do it again when you get a lot of feedback. And that's what you're getting a lot with juniors and intermediates. But with that side, there's a lot of seniors that they throw at a problem. They get it right sooner.
And you've come a long way in this industry. I mean, you started off as an art director, visual development artist. So what have you observed in terms of the evolution of this industry, particularly in the South African space?
There's a lot more studios coming up, which is really good. There's a lot more studios coming up. And a lot more students are interested in animation. We just need to, you know, the job security part of it needs to be resolved somehow. We don't know how, but we'll figure it out, as we always do. We're South African. And support, like, it does cost money, just like live action, just like any other industry, it costs money. So support and belief in the animated filmmaking process and output is gonna, you know, it's gonna mean a lot to the future generations that can watch. Imagine when you switch on your TV in the morning with your son or your daughter and there is Tabo the Skater, whatever, you know what I mean? Right now, that's really rare. If at all, that you can find African animated content on your TV.
Man, Lesego, great chatting to you. Hey?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. And once again, congratulations. All the best.
Thank you. Can I say one more thing? Is it possible? Can I please wish a happy birthday to my nephew, Bokang? Happy birthday, boy.
Oh, man. All the best and happy birthday, boy. All right, that was South African artist and animator Lesego Vorster, recently having won a Children's and Family Emmy for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation.